Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about 10 things you need to know before you end up buying or purchasing the Pfister Growler sports car, which is one of the unreleased vehicles that should be arriving over the next couple of weeks or months. So honestly, when I saw this car in the trailer and in the screenshots, I got very, very excited about the Pfister Growler arriving. So let's begin where you can purchase this vehicle. It'll be on the Legendary Motorsports site, and it'll also have a price of $1,627,000 as the buy it now, and it'll have a trade price of $1,220,250. So it's one of the less expensive of the new vehicles. They're all like relatively the same price. Again, I would always recommend going after that trade price. It's going to save you 25% here, which you get by ranking up through the reputation stuff at the LS Car Meet. So that's the price. That's where you can buy it. We don't know when this is going to be released quite yet. But let's bring this to the Los Santos Custom Shop, and I was pleasantly surprised that this had 28 categories of customization. That is a lot, even by the standards of Los Santos tuners. That is a lot. So the first unique thing you can do is the bumpers, and there quite honestly was not as many options as I thought. Street performance and endurance. So not a ton right there. And on the rear bumpers, you had a handful too: smooth, arch vented, dual vented, smooth, dual vented. So not as many options right there, but don't be disappointed because that is just the start of all the things that we can do. Other than the engine tune, the one thing you can do is add a strut brace, which you can actually see because the engine is in the back of this vehicle, mid-engine car. And so picking that out, you'll actually get to see it when you're driving, which is quite nice. Now, there are a ton of exhaust options, 19 of them in total. That is pretty impressive. Unfortunately, they are kind of similar. Like, they don't give you a ton of variety, but you do get at least to choose between like carbon, titanium, stuff like that. So lots of exhaust options right there. You can also modify the front fenders too. Again, you can just add the fenders or carbon options or choose to not have them at all. So not a ton of options, but still a nice little feature that you can change. You, of course, have your hood catch options, which will give you a couple of pins and catches that you can add on there. And then 17 hood options too. I was really impressed with all the hood options here, the amount of variety and the vents and other cool little features that they put on there. And we're even going to test those fog lights that were put on there at the very end as well when we get to that part of the video to see if they actually end up working. Then as far as the interior goes, you can upgrade all the things like dash, dials, doors, seats, steering wheels, and of course the roll cage. So all your standard interior options and upgrades right there. After that, it's an option called lip spoiler, and this one actually does not provide a traction boost or benefit. So it's just purely cosmetic, as you guys can see there. We'll get to the spoilers a little bit later on, but just know that applying this is not going to give you a traction bonus or boost in any way, shape, or form. And then we have our 15 liveries, starting with Pfister White, which is going to put these two clean lines, the Pfister font and text at the very bottom of the door sill right there. Super clean. I like that one a lot. It also comes in a black variant as well, which, as I'm sure you guys guessed, is the exact same, just in black instead of white. Same with White Growler. This one gives you a thicker white bar, and then this fun Growler font at the bottom of the door sill as well. And then it has black version too. So that's quite nice. Dual stripe is up next, and it obviously puts this set of dual stripes on the hood, roof, and back of the car. It's sort of like a dark blue and black outlined in red. That one is simple, yet quite nice also. We then have Pfister Stripe, and Pfister Stripe is going to add this one black bar that sort of goes on the roof, hood, and back. And on the hood, you have the Pfister logo right there, and it also gives you the Pfister text that sort of is parallel with that. So it looks really cool, one of the cleaner, simpler, but still nice-looking liveries on the Growler. Then you have Camo, which is simple enough. It is just going to add a camo texture to the car. And you guys can see there that it takes hints and cues from the primary color, so that's why mine ended up turning blue. After that, you have Zero Racer. This one I do not really like. I usually like the color of Zero Racer, but this one to me just looks like there's a lot of like random stuff and sponsors and stickers going on. So I can't really say I'm a huge fan of this one all that much, but that is Zero Racer. Then you have Fleesa Circuit. I think this one's okay too. It kind of adds this two-tone with the white at the bottom, Fleesa logo, a couple of other sponsorships too. I think these sponsors are a little bit more well-placed, so I like this one a little bit better. Then after that, you have Cover Up, which is very vibrant, as you guys can see there. We've got the rainbow on the front, side, and back with sort of like this rainbow recycling logo. And you can also see like the 99 on there, a couple of other sponsorships, Mindmock, Zero, Ron. I think this is the very first one we saw in the trailer and in the screenshots that Rockstar released before the update arrived. And then you've got Vandal. Vandal, again, kind of gives you that like blood splatter on the back with this sort of like red design that's sort of like cupping the front of the hood right there and going over the headlights. So that is Vandal. And there's even a reverse Vandal as well, which instead of it doing red, it does blue. It still gives you that like kind of like blood splatter look effect. And then you have like number 9 written on there. So I can't say that that is my favorite one of the bunch, but I do like that you have these normal and reverse options. That is pretty cool. Now, after our 2 Vandal ones, you have Tinkle Sprint, which is by far one of the weirdest names there, but it has this like fun peach and pear color with the Tinkle logo. It's very interesting, that's for sure. Again, I can't say this one is my favorite, although I do really like the colors. Those are fun and vibrant. After Tinkle Sprint, you've got Tracked Camo, which on the driver's side of the car, you have this camo pattern separated by a red line with some sponsorships. And then the final one is Kissima Graffiti, which is really cool. It's kind of like this geometric graffiti look going from red to blue on the front. So that one's cool, and that one is our final livery right there. Now, after the livery options, we need to move on to the mirrors, where you can change them from stock, primary, or carbon. Simple options right there. And then we have our color groups. Primary is going to change pretty much the entire body of the car and anything you selected as a primary upgrade. Your secondary color is going to change anything secondary, but also is going to change the brake calipers and the stitching on the inside, which is quite cool. And the trim is the color of the dash and the doors that you'll see on the inside. So those are your options right there as far as your color groups go. And then we have our rear splitter, so you can add some options there. You got 5 or 6 on deck that do kind of dress the back of the car up just a little bit. After that, we move on to roof accessories. There's something like a light bar, roof rack. We're going to test the light bar in a little bit to see if it actually works. And then from there, it's on to our skirts and our spoilers. A couple of fun skirt options there too to dress it up if you want. And a lot of splitter options as well to dress up the front of the car too. So even though there wasn't a ton of front and rear bumper options, you do have a front splitter and a rear splitter that does give you more options to change it up there. So that is quite nice. And then, of course, the spoiler, handful of options there. Most of them are these carbon fiber ones, so choose those if you'd like. And after that, we have sun strips. You have a handful of options there. You can also modify the tail lights too to put like glass coverings over them if you want to. I ended up just leaving that all the way off. And then after that, it's just vents. You can add vents on the side of the car in a carbon and then a curved variant. So those are all the upgrades that you can do right there to the Pfister Growler when it's going to arrive in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's test a couple of things outside the LSC. Can you change those stock rims? You absolutely can. So that's going to be quite nice because those are very, very pretty stock rims. This is what the car looks like with all of its doors and hood open, which is going to be great for car shows. You can see that strut brace in the back. That's pretty fun. And I told you guys we were going to test those headlights. They do actually work. They are not just for show. The light bar and the fog lights on the hood both end up working if you apply them, which is a nice little feature right there because sometimes on certain vehicles, they are just for show and they don't actually end up working. But anyways, that right there is the Pfister Growler and 10 things you need to know about this vehicle before it ends up arriving in Grand Theft Auto Online. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but Rockstar have done a good job of kind of teasing when the next vehicle is going to arrive. So hopefully that is sooner, again, rather than later. But let me know what you think about it in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Los Santos Tuner DLC videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.